Hey mama, if you're listening to this, you might be carrying a secret that feels too heavy to speak out loud. You look like you got it all together, you serve at church, maybe you even lead a Bible study. You smile when you drop off the kids, but no one sees the other side of you, the one that comes out behind closed doors. At home, you are a completely different person. You yell, you explode, you scream at your kids, sometimes in their face. You tell them to shut up. You grab them too harshly. You throw things across the room. You smack them in anger, twist their ears, spank them in rage, and immediately after, you are hit with a tidal wave of shame. You cry alone in your room and you whisper, "God, what is wrong with me?" You feel scared and disgusted by your own reactions. You're terrified that someone might find out. You wonder if your kids would be better off without you. You feel unworthy, broken, and too far gone to be redeemed. You try to fix this on your own. You listen to podcasts, parenting books, download freebies, but nothing changes. You keep falling back into the same patterns, and it feels like you are stuck in a cycle that you can't break. You don't trust yourself anymore, and if you're honest, you are afraid of who you become. But here's the truth, Mama. You are not beyond hope. You're not alone, and with God's help and the right support, you can change. I'm Elizabeth, a mom of 4 and an anger management coach for Christian moms. And inside my Calm Christian Mom coaching program, I guide women just like you through a powerful transformation. This isn't shallow behavior management. We go deep. We address your triggers, your stress, your mindset, your nervous system, and the spiritual root behind your patterns. We invite God into every layer and walk hand in hand towards healing. In just 12 weeks, you can become a completely different mom, unrecognizable. One who leads with patience, not panic. One whose children feel emotionally safe around her. One who cultivates peace. This summer, I'm offering a Calm Mama strategy session, a powerful 15-minute one-on-one coaching session designed to help you uncover the root of your anger and receive spiritual, emotional, and practical support. It's your chance to experience what coaching is like with me before diving deeper into ongoing support. If we both feel like the full program is the next right step, we can talk about what that looks like for you. You don't have to keep living like this. Your family is worth healing, and so are you. Use the link in the show notes to book the Calm Mama strategy session. Do you struggle with wanting to control circumstances and others? Do you really feel frustrated and even angry when your husband or your kids do something that you don't want them to do? Do you find yourself thinking, this shouldn't be happening, or he or she should be doing XYZ? If you struggle wanting everything to go your way and feel really frustrated and angry when things are not, then this episode is for you. First, before we get into the episode, I want to tell you I have a really great training. If you go to the website endmomshame.com or just scroll in the show notes, there's a free training for you. If you struggle with a lot of shame and guilt and remorse after you explode in rage on your children, and you just don't know how to cope with that, how to overcome that, and you just feel really stuck in that, and the enemy is just getting a hold of your thoughts, and I want to let you know there's freedom from that, and that training is going to tell you the step-by-step process. It's going to help you understand why you felt angry in the first place and how to process that shame so you don't stay stuck in it. It's completely free, endmomshame.com. Go get the training. So a common desire in humans is wanting everything our way, to be in control, or like controlling, I would say, to control others and situations. Maybe it's part of it, our sinful nature. That's just kind of how we are wired. And it's even more common if you grew up in a home where things were very chaotic and out of control. You develop a coping tendency trying to control everything, other people and circumstances, because you felt so out of control growing up, and now you lean to the opposite end of wanting to micro control. The thing about control is that you can only and only control yourself. What you think, what you say, and what you do. Those things are fully in your control. What you're choosing to think, what you're choosing to say, what you're choosing to do. The fruit of the Spirit is self-control. And, a lot of us want to do other control. But the Bible calls us to have self-control. In Galatians 5:22-23, it says that the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. When we try to control our spouse or our kids or other people and circumstances, we get really frustrated really, really quickly because we can't control them. We cannot do anything to make someone do something or not do something. And we'll go a little bit more into detail about that and why that feels really frustrating and angering. You realize it really, really, really quickly when you get married that you cannot make your husband pick up his socks, take out the trash, do the dishes. You can ask him. You cannot make him do it. You cannot make your baby fall asleep. We all have been there, right? We want our baby to fall asleep, and it feels really frustrating. We cannot make our baby to stop crying. We cannot make our baby burp or eat, even a toddler to go potty. We cannot make them do that. But what you can do is set yourself up for success and focus on things that are in your control. For example, you cannot control the baby or a toddler, but you can control yourself and do things that will support the atmosphere of your baby to fall asleep, of your baby to burp, right? Of your baby to eat. You can do things that maybe can help a toddler go potty, but you cannot make them do it. They have their own free will, just like you do. When you try to control every choice they make, and then especially how they do it, you will get resistance, just like any individual would that feels controlled. For example, if your husband was micro-controlling you, everything that you do, who you hang out with, what you eat, when you get up, like all those things, you would feel micro-control and you would naturally create resistance. You wouldn't want to be controlled. You're your own individual. You want to have self-control over those things. And then you start feeling really, really mad. I wouldn't want my husband to control my every move. I know that I would put up some resistance if that would happen. Like if he's like, oh, you can only be on your phone whenever during this time, or you cannot be on this social media app, or you can only wear this. I mean, that is crazy. If you're in a marriage like that, my friend, go get some help, because that is very unhealthy and destructive. Like that's not what God designed for marriage. We do need boundaries with our kids. And I definitely have them with my kids, the amount of sweets they get, how much they spend time, on a screen. But I also give them choices. For example, everybody's eating a veggie for dinner. What veggie would you like? Tomatoes or cucumbers? You're picking a veggie. Oh, I don't want either of them. Okay, then I'll help you pick. You can pick, or I will do it for you. This or this. Or right now, we're going to watch a movie together as a family. These are the two movies that I picked out. Which one would you like to pick? And that gives your kids, especially toddlers, but even as the kids are growing up, give them some sense of control. Because if you make all the decisions for your toddlers, they're going to resist you left and right, and you're going to feel really, really frustrated. So this is what you can do. When things feel very frustrating, when things are not going your way, here is where you can direct your focus on what is in your control. So we need to accept the mental decision. It's like a mental shift that we make, that we will not be able to get everything our way. in life, in parenting, in marriage. That is the truth. The truth is we need to compromise, and you cannot get everything your way. And if you try to get everything your way in relationships, you will get really frustrated and angry quickly, and you're going to damage relationships with your loved one. I need to accept and I need to let some things go and allow others to make the decisions for themselves. There's things that I need to let go. For example, what clothes my child wears. Like, let's say my kids wear uniforms to school. I don't care if he wears, gray shorts or navy shorts. He gets to decide. I don't care which color shirt. He's just picking a uniform shirt, right? Like, they get to pick. Or how they make their bed. They made their bed. If it's not perfect, that's okay. You let it go. You choose, like you're telling yourself, I'm choosing to let this go. Or, for example, that's a big one people have, how they load the dishwasher. Who freaking cares? They're learning. I mean, you can guide them and teach them, but they're loading the dishwasher. Let go of that control. Or when they brush their teeth. And, or for example, like how they brush their teeth. Or like, do they brush their teeth before they put on pajamas or after they put on pajamas? Let those little things go. Let your kids decide that for themselves. It's insignificant. For example, I think more than anything, I struggle when it comes with my husband, where I want to control him. I don't know if any of you relate, where I want him to do something and he's not doing it, or I don't want him to do something and he is doing, for example, scrolling on the phone. Or some habits that I really think are not helpful. I have this mantra that I say to myself, he is responsible for his actions. I communicate my desires and needs, and he gets to decide what he does with that. I choose to let him answer for his actions. Because when I stand in front of the Lord, I'm responsible for my own actions, not his actions. I'm responsible about how I handle my responses, what I said to him and what I did, but I am not in control of his actions. Another part of this is when we feel really frustrated when circumstances are not going our way. And it could be, for example, you're getting ready to go on vacation. You've been looking forward to it, and your kids got really sick, and it's a stomach bug that hit your family. Undesirable circumstances, for sure. And you start feeling really frustrated, and you tell yourself this shouldn't be happening. It should be like this. And then when you argue with reality of what things shouldn't be or how they should be or how should somebody behave or not behave, you feel really powerless in that situation. And that produces a lot of frustration and emotional dysregulation. So what you can do is work with the circumstances that you are given instead of fighting the way that things should be. It is what it is. I don't like it, and we're going to have to work with it. And I choose to work with it. How can I be adapted to the circumstances that I am given? God is in control of circumstances, not you. No matter how much you try to control the weather, the traffic, baby waking up in the middle of the night, kids having a meltdown when you're walking out the door, that's not in your control. You can only control what you think, what you say, and what you do. And when you redirect all those controlling tendencies to yourself, listen to me. Oftentimes, we have a hard time controlling ourselves, our habits, our thoughts, our choices, our words. And here we are trying to control our husbands and kids and the circumstances. Let's pause all of that and redirect all of that onto ourselves, because the Bible calls you to have self-control, not other control. So redirect all that energy and be like, okay, well, what is in my control? What can I focus on? How can I shift my thoughts? And because your thoughts affect your feelings and your feelings affect your actions. So if you have negative thoughts, you'll have negative feelings and you'll have negative actions. So how can I change my thoughts so then that's aligned with the words that I'm speaking and the actions that I am taking? Right? When you don't try to fight the circumstances and instead accept them for what it is, this is happening because it's happening. The kids got sick before our trip and we need to delay the trip or reschedule. It happened. I can still feel frustrated about it. It does feel frustrating. And arguing with reality doesn't make it change. It is what it is. Like, I accept the circumstances, and we're just going to adapt and go with the flow and adjust. Is it what I want? No. And me arguing with what I think it should be does not make it change. This just makes me more frustrated and angry. I want you to listen to a recording from one of my clients that graduated about a month ago. Her name is Brandy. She came into my coaching program struggling with a lot of control with her son. Her 10-year-old son, there was constant tension between them. And by the time we were done working together, she has shifted massively. There was a massive transformation. She was able to let go of the other control and micro-controlling every little thing that he was doing, and instead redirect it to self-control.
Hey, my name is Brandy. I am married. I have one son and one bonus son. They're both 10 years old. Before I joined Elizabeth's program, I was always a bitter, angry, a very controlling mom. My son would often say, "Nothing I do is ever good enough for you." I constantly found myself looking for what my husband and son did wrong, what they didn't do. Just a very negative person in general. And it carried over to my family, my house, our daily activities. And I got to a point where I was honestly afraid of losing my husband, and therefore losing this positive male figure in my son's life and such a great person. And when that realization hit, I reached out to Elizabeth, and it was life-changing for me. I stayed in the work. I'm still doing the work. It's been a few weeks after I graduated her program, but I see such positive changes in my family. We are all so happy. We're not walking on eggshells anymore around each other. My son no longer says, "Nothing I do is good enough for you." He knows that I'm his safe person now. There's no little bitter arguments between us, my husband and I. So I'm so thankful for Elizabeth and all that she's done for me and my family. It is truly has been life-changing, and without her, I don't think I would have made these positive changes. I don't think I would have worked on myself and really got to the core of what was truly going on with me. And through her, through the coursework, through the program and talking to the other moms, I was really able to work on all those things, and it's been amazing. And I would hope that if anybody is listening to this and feels that this is them, or they've been here before and they're really at rock bottom, just to make the next step and to book the consultation call, and you won't be disappointed.
I hope you enjoyed listening to her testimonial. The transformation was so big in her life. And I am so grateful that God led her to my Calm Christian Mom Coaching Program, and it has transformed the way that she shows up as a mom. If you're experiencing a lot of reactive anger and daily frustrations with your kids because things are just not going your way, you notice negative attitudes spilling on your family, this is exactly what we work on in my Calm Christian Mom Coaching Program. If you want to model positive attitude to your kids, teach them how to adapt to the circumstances you are given, teach them emotional regulation skills by setting a positive example yourself, this is when you hire me as your coach. Details about my coaching program are in the show notes. If you go to emotionallyhealthylegacy.com/coaching, that's where you're going to see all the details. You can then book a free consultation call with me, and on that call, you get to share with me the struggles that you are facing and everything that you've tried. And if I think you are a great fit for my coaching program, I will share with you about it. And if not, I will guide you in the right direction. Speaking of this, as I'm recording this right now, my daughter is opening her door from her room. You can hear her. She's calling for me. And I need to adapt to the circumstances that I am given instead of arguing she shouldn't be doing this. Yes, do I want her to stay quietly in the room? Yes. And the truth is, that's an unrealistic expectation for a toddler, and I need to adapt, or you know what? I choose to adapt to the circumstances that I am given. I'll talk to you later, friend. Hey mama, do you find yourself snapping over the smallest things, like spilled milk or constant whining, then feeling horrible afterwards? If you're tired of losing your temper and you want to show up with more patience, I have something for you. It's a free training called How to Be More Patient with Your Kids so you're not screaming over spilled milk. Inside, I'll walk you through 10 simple things you can start doing today to become a calmer, more Christ-like mom, even on the hard days. To get it for free, just leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts and send a screenshot to hello@emotionallyhealthylegacy.com. Or if you'd rather skip the wait, you can grab it right now for just $27. The link is in the show notes. Let's help you become the peaceful, patient mom your kids need.